Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Thriving Therapreneur podcast. We have a special guest with us today, Jennifer Reinhardt. She is a client of mine. She is not your typical therapist turned coach. She's actually in a totally different niche. She is in the real estate world, and she's absolutely thriving as she is building her coaching business. You're going to hear it from her. Jennifer, I would love for you to introduce yourself, and then we'll dive in and talk about what this transition has been like for you, the success that you've achieved thus far in this short period of time. And then also we'll tell everybody about real estate investing and how they can make more money with real estate.
So, my name is Jen. I'm a real estate agent. I'm in Denver, Colorado. And I didn't mean to start out with real estate investing. I actually wanted to be a therapist. And then I got into DU grad school to get my MSW. And then I had a daughter who was born with cystic fibrosis and a heart defect. And so she needed a lot of time. And I wasn't thinking, like, how could I make more money or maximize my investments? I was thinking, how can I work part time so that I can make it to her appointments and do all of her treatments? If you know cystic fibrosis, it's a lung disease. So she needed several hours of treatments every day. And I was worried about her weight and different things and getting that up. And so I actually got my real estate license so I could use that commission to buy a house with air conditioning because she needed air conditioning and we didn't have enough money for air conditioning. And it's wild just the way that like life turns, right? And then I found out that I could work in real estate and impact people's lives that way. So I learned residential, then I learned commercial because I wanted to work less nights and weekends. And then I found out that I liked residential a little bit better and then got into the multifamily. So I've been in real estate for a long time, like 20 years now. And I've been doing different classes on real estate investing. I figured that people weren't picking it up fast enough because it's so complex. And if you don't understand something, a lot of people won't move. And that's why I wanted to get into the coaching. And then one of my friends is a therapist and she recommended you. And so that's how it like looped around to you.
Yeah, full circle moment. And you're very well known in the real estate space. Like you said, you've been doing this for 20 plus years. I mean, the workshops that you have, your email list, I mean, it's like hundreds, thousands of people in your world. But I think there's such a beauty in what you said and not making it so complicated and just teaching them the basics of how they can get started today just for the sheer reason of maybe wanting to make a little bit more income for their family and paying for something, whether it be air conditioning or their first home or possibly even like a vacation home or whatever the case is. And you walk them through all of those steps inside your coaching business. So I'm just so proud of the work that you're doing. I mean, we connected years ago, but really you just came into this work and dove, head into coaching business a few months ago. So, what has this process been like for you diving in, all hands on deck, full force? I actually have the time to commit to this. And I've been seeing the strides that you've been making, but I want to hear it from you. What has this process been like for you?
Well, I decided in my world, the thing that I'm trying to solve for is me and my partner Michael, we've done like $1 billion in real estate. And so we have the formula down, right? Like we can put the numbers through the pro forma. We can say, based on these 6,000 properties that are rented, this is what you can expect. I have the crews, I have the different things. And so I'm an expert in real estate. And if people don't listen to me, they can lose money. Not to be arrogant, but just like there's a big team here and they've done it thousands of times. And so I just went into it and I was like, well, Carly has done this so many times. If I'm going to tell people that they need to listen to me in my space, I need to listen to her in her space, which is like the tech and the coaching business. And I've been within the same, team for a long time, like 12 years. And they don't know like AI. I mean, we have like Claude, but that's not the same thing. Just like polishing emails. They don't know like the follow-up systems. They don't know coaching. We've never really charged for that. But I think it's doing a disservice to my clients, like not giving them that knowledge where they can go through it at their pace and having it recorded somewhere. And then it's kind of like leaving my own legacy and my own tracks. So I was excited to do it. And it was hard because I I didn't realize, like, even though I've been doing workshops for so long, I didn't really ever really post on social media because it's all been referral based. And so I had this like fear of being seen, which I had to confront and do additional like coaching, and it was hard. And so then I was just like, well, I'm just going to do what you said. And we had that one call, and that was kind of a breakthrough for me, where I needed to get an Instagram name. And I said, well, what should my Instagram name be? And you said, well, it should be the real estate investment coach. And I said, well, in my industry, if you're a woman, you have to tag yourself a woman, right? Like it has to be her investment coaching. And you were like, I'm going to pretend that you didn't say that. We're going to get this name and we're just going to lock it in. And we just ran with it. And it's starting to build now. I think that I have like 100 followers on the Instagram because I didn't have the Instagram set up before. So sometimes like I was getting in my way because I had my own industry lens, which is a very male dominated investment lens of like, this is the box that I need to stay in. And I just want to see what's possible. I want the world to push back instead of like my own mind, if that makes sense.
And you just landed, a speaking gig. I feel like you're a very A+ student, and you do exactly what I say to do. And you are following step by step, which is why you're succeeding in the space so fast, which I love. And I feel like you're still shocked to this day that it works. You're like, Carly, you told me to do XYZ and I went and did it. And oh my gosh, it's working. I'm like, yeah, no shit, it's working. Like, that is why I told you to do it. So, what are some of those things that I told you to do and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, it actually works? Besides, like, get the Instagram. Okay, now the Instagram is working. Get the speaking gig. How many people were at that speaking gig that you got? You just pitched yourself and then
It was a couple hundred.
yeah, no big deal. You say that like that's no big deal. I mean, if you Google 300 people in a room, that's a lot of people.
It is. It doesn't feel that scary because I'm talking about like my frame of reference of just my career and my life, but setting up the pages is kind of scary. So I had like this real estate investing group, and I've had it for a long time. One of our real estate clients gave it to us a few years back, and we've just been using it like other real estate agents, clients, people post on it and talk back and forth. And so like it's a message space. And when I got into your coaching, my coach, she said, that needs to be your group. And so we're going to take this cover page and we're going to make it you and your mission statement and refine the niche. And then we're going to make it private so no one else can post except for you unless it's a specific day or we have a specific topic. And that was hard for me because it was like, oh, I'm taking this group from other people and I was changing. And it was a mindset shift of like, no, this is mine. People can join or not, and then use that to attract other people in. And then you get comfortable with it. And then it's interesting the progression because I was so afraid to do that. But now I have that little checklist on my desk of like the 5 ways to post and the 5 topics. And, whether it's like overcoming objections or a freebie, there's a list of things that you learn and just making sure like my ratios are correct. There's the A+ student, right? Like, I'm like, oh no, I've been doing too many educational posts, but I'm not thinking this isn't mine anymore. It's about like taking ownership of your like own space and saying, I have a voice. I may not look like every other investor out there because like I'm single, I'm a parent, I have a child with a rare disease, I'm a woman. But that is actually why people are attracted to me. It's interesting, isn't it? So it's like the thing that you fear is like the thing that it's turning it on its head from like, oh, people wouldn't want to work with me because of these things. And it's like, well, no, she kind of looks like me and I can relate in these ways. And it attracts a different audience. So
Absolutely. It is your secret weapon, just being uniquely you. And I love that we can mirror that and illuminate that for you over and over. And I see that confidence boosting in you. And it's really a beautiful thing because you're going to change so many lives and you already have. So, what piece of advice would you give to anybody who is possibly a therapist or just a wellness expert or has some sort of gift that they would like to monetize and move into the coaching space, but they haven't yet taken those steps? Maybe some fear is getting in the way. The same things that you had to walk through before you said yes to this journey.
I don't feel like I'm at the end of my journey. I feel
Well,
like
no, you're in the thick of it. You are absolutely in the thick of it.
I'm
So,
not like, this is what you do. I'm like, oh, it's interesting because I will say, hey, I want to go do this and I want to say that. And what do I say after? And you're just like, well, get the appointment first and then come back. And it's like this thing unfolds as you go and you can't plan it out because you don't know how it's going to open. And so I would say when you are crafting your story and you're figuring out like what tracks you want to leave for other people, that's a big one for me. Like for my children, I want them to know that I was there for them and that if they ever need me, sometimes when they don't need me, like my son is a teenager and he doesn't appreciate me knowing where he is all the time, but like I'm around. And that was like a conscious decision. Like I'm around for my kids. So I have that goal in mind for myself. And then I want other people to have more time and money because I think there's this misconception in society that in order to have money, you can't have any time. And so you have to work and work and work and work and work. And then you're not there for your family. And so it's either or. And I want to say it's not either or. And look at all of these things that I've gone through. And if I can go through these things and make it, even though I'm still like a work in progress, I've still made it pretty far, right? Like my daughter has a normal lifespan now. My son is doing really well. We live in a good neighborhood. I'm able to like step out of my business and take some time and craft this. I think everybody has a different thing to help make the world better. Like each person's thing is different.
yeah. And you would be doing your people a disservice if you didn't put yourself out there and share your craft with the world. That's what I have to add to
I
that.
really truly have that mindset when we do some of our just like our meetups where people come in and we talk about real estate. My coaching program is going to be $3,000 and then the people get that $3,000 back when they buy a deal. The other real estate mentoring programs are like 12 to 75,000 and so people will come to our classes and they'll like cry because like they spent all of their money and now they can't buy a deal because they spent all of their money on coaching. It's really about getting people to take action. It's really about people getting to change their lives and committing and making that step. And I think that that is why it's going to work and why it is working is because it's different.
You're about to launch and you're about to blow up.
You think so?
Yes, I know so. You've just been laying the foundational pieces and you haven't even launched yet. I mean, that is an absolute no-brainer. $3,000 and then you get your money back after you got a deal. I mean, that's everything that they ever dreamed of and more.
Because there's so much fear. I think you see it in your industry too, right? Like, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And it's like, okay, we'll go see.
What if it happens better than you expected?
What if it happens better than you expected? And then also, you're not going to take a step, just like in my programming, just like in yours, that somebody hasn't gone through before. So we know what the likely outcomes are within the ratios of thousands and thousands of other people. So it's like a guided, or like a shepherd. Did I say that right? Like a guide.
You are a guide. I'm a guide. And I think the best piece of advice that I can give to everybody listening is get yourself a guide. If you want to be somewhere that you're not, get yourself a guide who is where you want to be. And they will absolutely shortcut the path to success. Just like you wanted to build a coaching business, but you didn't know all the floating pieces to do it. And you got yourself a guide, such as me. And now you're doing all the floating pieces and you're about to launch and you're about to bring this to fruition. When you were learning real estate for the first time, you didn't learn all of this yourself. You had multiple different guides who were teaching you how to get into this space. So get yourself a guide like Jennifer if you want to get into real estate investing, or get yourself a guide and a mentor like myself if you want to get into the coaching business. Would you agree?
I would agree. And I think that it's really obvious if somebody is going to do something like learn to fly. Nobody would learn to fly without having coaching, but yet we're expected to just navigate our lives and look up on YouTube in the right scenario. Or, it's so much harder if you do it on your own. And I think the mistake that I made was I kept looking to the real estate industry to like teach me how to build this, but they don't know how to build it. They know how to analyze properties, they know how cap rates, and we know returns in different markets and all the different things. Like we know how to do wealth creation, but I was just kept going to them, "Hey, I need to get this out. I need to do this." And they were like, "Well, go figure it out," because they don't know. And so you double down on the things that aren't working to try to get a result. Or I looked outside of my industry and said, like, what's working over here? Because we do different things, very different things. But
The same concepts apply. I mean, this is why you can be inside the coach intensive, which is inherently made for therapists because that's just who I am by trade, but be a real estate agent and this work just as well because it's the same concepts that apply. It is foundational business 101 and marketing that is going to get you the
I
results
don't
that
feel like
you
there's
came
another
for.
person out there like you, though. It's where
Well, there's
you have
not.
I don't, like you call in with the copywriter who teaches you the sequence of bringing out your own voice, and then the mindset coaches, and then how to post on social media for the semantics of like how to run Go High Level and do all of the different things. And like here, they don't even know what Go High Level is. Maybe somebody does that some lender uses, but they don't actively use it in their business. But it's interesting because I don't think that I'll ever catch up to you. Because as I'm learning your steps, you're learning more steps. And so it's just like, how far do I want to take it? But then, when I'm in the venture capitalist finance bro world, they'll push it. Like if it's working well, we probably will just stay on and just keep going and keep growing.
This is the beauty of the online coaching industry is there's forever something to learn and there is no cap. So you can make as much money as you want in this space and there's endless amounts of things to learn. And I am very much still learning and still growing my own revenue while you are simultaneously doing the same thing. But I'm bringing you along with me. You're on the ride. Together, we
In my
rise.
life, I could do like two hard things at a time. And this is hard because it brings up like, why did I get into this? What do I want my legacy to be? What do I want my children to remember me? How do I want to leave tracks in the world? And some of the things that, it's just like you have these epiphanies and you're like, oh my gosh, that's why I've been doing this, right? Like, my ex-husband is an oil engineer and he made a lot of money. And I hated it because he wasn't ever home. Like he was home 1 week every 2 months. And then he ended up, being sick, and he lives in a different country now. But it's just like I didn't realize that the reason why that I was so driven, it's almost like I wanted to be there for my family, but it's still real. I am there for my family. And then I can help other people not have to go through that path, because it's really, really hard. Like the world right now is hard if you don't have any resources. And people should have resources if they can follow a path and go out and do it. Like if I can do it, right? Like anybody can do it. But the work is hard. So I think that you have to be in a space where you can take on a project.
Hard is a relative term, right? So if you're up for the challenge, the blueprint's there. It is so rewarding. So it is a short-term sacrifice,
Yes.
short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain for the reward.
It gets addicting too, because you're like, oh my gosh, I uncovered this and I made this. What am I going to uncover if I can get through these steps? Like you just kind of want to see what happens when you open the next door.
Yeah, because there's an infinite amount of doors that you can open, as there's an infinite amount of things that you can learn and an infinite amount of money that you can make. I mean, money is actually infinite, right? And it's hard to master something that is infinite, but it is a beautiful win-win, right? You get to do this for your own life. You get to have freedom, flexibility, security, while also ensuring that your clients have freedom, flexibility, and security. And that is very much my live story as well. You know, I live this lifestyle. I'm helping you live this lifestyle. You're living this lifestyle. You're helping your clients live this lifestyle. It's a beautiful ripple effect. So, Jennifer, where can people find you who are interested about getting started in real estate investing?
My website is realestateambitions.com. And there's a contact me button where you can inquire about the coaching. Also, we have a deal list, so pre-underwritten deals that I can send to people just so that you can start learning and tracking and start building your own wealth. And we don't want people to get priced out of their cities. We want to be able to live where we work and invest and have our kids live where they want to.
Yeah. I'll include that in the show notes for everybody listening and wanting to get started in this real estate investing world. Thank you, Jennifer, for being on today. And my love is with you all. And I will see you guys in the next episode.